Yo, this is Ace Banton in SAT building, baby. You're watching SAT Telecom, that's the #1 choice. Boom!
Wherever the iron play, I'll be there. Wherever the steel band play, I'll be there. Anytime it's carnival, yo, festival, bacchanal, behind the big truck, down the road, everybody, they know that I'll be there. Yo, this is Mr. Challenge, you're watching SAT TV, the people's choice.
Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Shana Esprit, your presenter. In our top stories today, police investigating shooting death of Loda resident, Suriname and Indonesia to enhance cooperation, Obama on first Israel trip as president and vows eternal alliance, and in sports, the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports hosts Girls Sports Festival in collaboration with Sports Division. Details of these and other stories after the break.
SAT Telecoms. And I'm a tutuni. Big up, one love.
It's only when we unite as one, then a lot more thing can be done. Stop this useless fight down, killing out your own brother man. Time we rise and all realize we have an enemy in disguise, standing right in the mix of you. Got to know who is who. This is Derek Peters and you're watching SAT TV. That's what I have, SAT TV. SAT TV, that's the way to go. Rah! To the world. Ooh diddy, ooh diddy, ooh diddy.
Thank you for staying with us. On Wednesday, March 2013, Minister of Carob Affairs, Mr. Ashton Grano, informed SAT TV News of the procedures for the people from the Carob territory when applying for a loan. Mr. Grano says, based on what he knows growing up as a young boy and as an adult, there is a traditional culture within the Carob territory that the land should be owned in common. He noted the residents have the right to occupy, which is referred to occupier rights. However, they do not have ownership rights. Mr. Grano added if the council was to require a portion of land for development purposes, they would have to negotiate with the occupier and in most cases compensate the individual. He said he is unsure of the reasons why this traditional procedure is still obtained. Nevertheless, the matter has been brought up in discussions.
There are a number of us in the Kalinago territory and some of the younger generation who believe that it is time for us to acquire our own land titles to give us some kind of power so we could use that to access credit. However, some of the older, the senior citizens of the Kalinago territory and most of the times our chief and council do not agree with this thing because to them they see it as a means of disintegrating the Kalinago territory, because once you get a title for your land and you can use it to access credit, then clearly if you were to default at the credit institution, they would come and take the land, acquire the land as collateral.
Mr. Grano says there are a number of procedures which the Carob territory residents use to apply for a loan. Individuals approach him directly because he receives a government salary, or they approach the public officers who are established. He says he understands that these procedures need to be changed immediately, but it is a difficult proposition.
There is a thinking, and we have had minor discussions on that matter with regard to changing that whole land tenure. However, we meet stiff opposition. A number of Kalinagos would not agree because, as I said from the beginning, it appears to them that it is a way of disintegrating the Kalinago territory.
Mr. Grano's idea is to create a credit facility that will be sympathetic just to the Kalinagos. Therefore, the facility will not provide credit to any other individuals outside of the Carob territory. He says this credit institution can be established in the Carob territory or Roseau.
and we could use some of our lands, then in the event that we were to defaulter, let's say the borrowers were to defaulter, the Kalinago Council could have a special arrangement with the facility that will allow the facility to acquire the land, or to allow the council to acquire the land on behalf of the institution, and the land could be sold to another Kalinago, or let's say leased to an outsider, because you could also lease the land to outsiders for a given number of years.
Mr. Grano added that this is the only idea and it is not something that they have looked into in great detail. In more news, the Ministry of Lands, Housing, Settlements and Water Resource Management, in collaboration with the Dominica Water and Sewage Company Limited and the International Cooperation Agency of the Republic of Colombia, has initiated a technical cooperation program on water resource management. This workshop, held at the Public Service Training Center, commenced on Wednesday, March 20th and will end on Thursday, March 21st, 2013. General Manager of the WASCO, Mr. Bernard Etinoff, says this is all in an effort to address water losses in Dominica's water system.
Sometime in 2012, on the invitation of the government of Dominica, a mission from Colombia visited Dominica and had discussions with a number of stakeholders, including the WASCO and the government itself and others, in an effort to determine, what practices we engage in water resources management here in Dominica, and to see how we could benefit from the experiences in Colombia. Coming out of those discussions, it was evident that we needed to do something about our losses in our water systems, and so the mission designed an intervention logic and submitted to the government of Dominica and the WASCO for determination of how we proceed with that.
Mr. Etinoff noted on the conclusion of this workshop, a team from Dominica will visit Colombia at the invitation of the Colombian government. This trip will provide Dominica delegation with a first-hand view of the Colombians' practices in water resource management.
We hope at the end of the workshop that we would be in a position to reduce much of the losses that we now experience on our water systems. Well, as you know, what we continue to do is to produce more and more water, to go upstream all the time, which costs a lot of money to find additional sources of water. Whereas, in some of our systems, we believe if we can control the losses, minimize those losses, we could have much more supply to provide to the consumers. So we see it as a very important initiative supported by the government of Dominica and the government of Colombia, and we look forward to the outcome.
Although he could not give details on the extent of water loss in Dominica, however, Mr. Etinoff did reveal that the international average is about 30% of all water from various sources. He said in the region there are countries that experience as much as 60% water loss, which is significant. He estimates Dominica to be within the region of the 30% average, which they are working on reducing to a maximum of 10 to 15%.
Well, it doesn't really have much to do with how you run the lines and new connections and so on. It probably has to do more with leakage underground. It has to do with water theft. Persons tap the lines underground and those kinds of things. So certainly we would learn, or all people here would learn some techniques as to how to detect those things, probably using some instrumentation that we may have to acquire. But these are the things that we are going to be looking at. How you detect the leaks underground, how you do programs to manage your leaks, and Colombia has had a very good experience doing that, and so we hope to learn quite a bit from the Colombians this morning.
Mr. Etinoff added there is no way to prevent all water losses. However, work needs to be completed to minimize it as much as possible. Contractor Mr. Camilo Nino Martinez, who is part of the Colombian delegation on island for the workshop, says the workshop will also focus on hydro resources management.
Well, one of our expertises, we could say, is water management, because we do have hydropower and we have had it for several years now, decades really. So it is an interaction of Colombia with the Caribbean, of course, including the lovely island of Dominica. And that's basically the purpose of this course. We're going to interact with some governmental officials of Dominica as well. And it is composed of a Foreign Office delegate, myself, I'm a contractor with the Foreign Office, and an engineer. He's an expert in hydro resources management or water management. And that's the basic purpose of the visit.
Mr. Martinez noted it is our duty as human beings to capitalize on resources of Mother Nature. However, this has to be done in a responsible way to ensure sustainability, which is exactly what they have done for decades in Colombia. He added, seeing Dominica is similar to Colombia in terms of many water resources, hydroelectricity plants are one of the best and most effective ways of using this energy to the benefit of mankind. In more stories, in continuing with the motto Service Above Self, the Rotary Club of Roseau inducted 4 new members into the club on Saturday, March 16, 2013. Rotaract is an international program for young adults who believe in making a difference by carrying out various community projects island-wide. As an affiliate of Rotary International, Rotaract provides an opportunity for young adults to enhance the knowledge and skills that will assist in their personal development to address the physical and social needs of their communities. The club also promotes better relations between all people worldwide through a framework of friendship and service. The prospective members were pinned as they have been attending meetings regularly while taking part in various projects carried out by the club during the past 6 months. These individuals who are new members are Dane Hippolyte, Pamela Igweze, Shanura Xavier, and McFerrin Pierre.
Madam Vice President and fellow Rotaractors, I have the honor to present
Pamela Shanura,
Dane Hippolyte, for acceptance and membership of Rotaract.
Thank you. You all have been chosen for membership into the Rotary Club of Roseau because we believe you to be worthy of representation of your calling, and because we believe you possess these qualities which will enable you to impact the message of Rotaract to your fellow men. Rotaract requires you to do the utmost best into carrying your vocation, its true spirit, which finds expression into the motto Fellowship for Service, and both in your private capacity as a citizen to strive for and endeavor to live up to the high ideals on which the organization of Rotaract is founded. In addition, your membership entitles certain definite obligations, including regular attendance at our meetings and a general support of various activities of the club.
The club believes these new members will carry out the obligations of the club to the best of their abilities. This they all agreed to. The vice president of the club, Ms. Ezra Peter, says she cannot promise anyone what their personal gain will be from the club. However, they can benefit by what they put in.
In the name of Rotaract, I, Ezra Peter, as Vice President of the Rotaract Club, welcomes you into our worldwide fellowship of service as an active member of this club. Here is your badge.
The new members were also presented with their certificates of membership into the club. This coincided with the club's celebration of World Rotaract Week, when every year Rotaractors and Rotarians around the world celebrate to honor the founding of the first club in 1968. The week commemorates the success and importance of Rotaract program and offers an opportunity to inform the local community about the amazing works that Rotarians do. During the celebration, Rotaractors hosted a number of activities, including a Sports Day International Night and a church service, among others. These are geared at promoting fellowship and unity among members. In other stories, the residents of Loda community were in a state of shock following a shooting incident that occurred approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of Wednesday, March 20th, 2013, leaving Collier Kerwin Bertrand of Loda with a gunshot wound. Mr. Bertrand was taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner. A coroner inquest and post-mortem will be convened to determine the exact cause of death. One man is in police custody and is being questioned in regards to the shooting. A relative of the alleged shooter said that he was afraid for his life after the deceased threatened him.
The road, your health is threatened everybody almost every day. As a matter of fact, personally, every time I walk that road, I had to walk with a weapon in case that boy conteract me, because every day basically he was threatening not only me but the entire family. The recent threat was 2 days ago when he told me that he's going to take my father, all everybody, my father, he comes from the hill up there. So I wasn't too surprised that he and Nixon got into that altercation today. It's just unfortunate that it happened that he paid with his life.
Mr. St. George Bertrand, uncle to the deceased, said that he has not slept since Collier came from prison.
This morning he came at 4 o'clock in the morning to wake me up. He told me that he was going to kill Nixon and that he was going to burn my place. So run away. When I come in the house, he removed my radio, he put it down. I go sleep, sitting in my prison. I never sleep. Sunday living in the hospital to check on me. When I come down, when I come up, I can sleep again.
Residents were in strong solidarity with the alleged shooter, as they said the deceased was known to terrorize the community.
This morning I will come. I got it by message. And he went up. I don't know if he had a long class, I don't know why he did, I don't know where he is. The father, he had them to say that he died.
So how do you feel now that he's dead?
Huh?
How do you feel now that he's dead?
I mean, my head will be alright. What Nixon that I'm thinking about now.
Dominicans certainly had a reason to celebrate, as son of the soil Shane Shillingford took 5 wickets for 59 runs in just 21.5 overs when the West Indies faced Zimbabwe on day 1 of the International Home Series 2013 at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. Mr. Shillingford says it feels real good to end the day with 5 wickets from a solid 10-wicket haul in Barbados last week, where the West Indies defeated Zimbabwe. He said he always feels at home in Dominica, which is motivating to him. He also spoke of his game plan in outsmarting the Zimbabwe batsmen.
Well, once I see a batsman, especially a right-hander, sweeping, I know I'm on top. You know, because especially the captain, he got out bat pad, in the first game. So I think most likely he didn't want to get out there, so his other plan was to reverse sweep. I just knew it's just a matter of time to be patient, and put the balls in the right areas and set the proper field and get him out.
Securing 14 wickets in the series thus far, Mr. Shillingford says he is looking forward to 12 wickets in this match, to surpass that of what he did last year when they faced Australia at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. The West Indies spinner noted that once he has the support of his captain and fellow teammates, he will try his utmost best when he steps on the pitch.
Once I get the support from the captain and the players as well, the coach and everybody, we can go there and do a good job.
At some point, your resources, did this affect your bowling in any way?
No. As soon as it got the ball actually hit me direct on my bone there, but got assistance from the physio, so on top of that.
How is the Dominican crowd influencing the West Indies in terms of the performance?
To be honest with you, every time West Indies come here, the guys are happy because they know that the type of crowd they're going to get and the type of support. And what they really appreciate is that the Dominican people, they support good cricket. You understand? So, and a lot of the boys like that. So that's what we appreciate.
The captain said that he aimed to have 6 wins in a row. Are you seeing the team poised to make this happen?
Yeah, definitely. Based on how the guys have been playing and the confidence, and we have in the dressing room, and being out there bringing it out on play. We definitely head into that road.
In discussing some of his bowling styles, Mr. Shillingford says when the right-handed batsmen start to sweep, he tries not to bowl straight to them but bowl wider onto their off stump, which works out well for him. He says he is definitely looking to add some runs on the scoreboard when it is his turn to bat, especially as his coach, Mr. Otis Gibson, is of the view that he can bat much better than he currently is. The spinner added that he is satisfied with the condition of the cricket pitch, which he will use to his advantage.
Well, when I came out and I looked at the pitch, I knew right there and then it was going to spin. I just, I saw little patches on it, but it turned out to play really well, as opposed to the one in Barbados where you had balls up and down. If you did it maybe a little on the slow side, but the consistent in the bounce is really good.
And that were of you.
Definitely. Yep.
What sort of total are you looking forward to West Indies scoring?
Well, honestly, I haven't thought of a total. I think the coach and the rest of us the guys will come together and set up a good total to send them in again and hopefully bowl them out.
He went on to say that the West Indies are seeking a comprehensive victory, which is possible once all players apply themselves. At the end of day 1, scores are Zimbabwe 175 all out in 60.5 overs. Top batters for Zimbabwe, Avusi Sibanda, 32 runs, Brendan Taylor, 33, and Sean Williams, 31. Bowling for West Indies, Shane Shillingford is in fine form with 5 for 59 in 21.5 overs, Marlon Samuel 3 for 15 in 9 overs, and Shannon Gabriel 2 for 10 in 8 overs and 6 maidens. The West Indies are doing well in batting thus far, as they managed to rack up 114 runs for 2. Chris Gale 61 in 84 balls, and Marlon Samuels 26 in 52 balls. They will continue batting at 10 a.m. on Thursday, March 21st, 2013. In other stories, following the CXC Arts and Crafts exhibition on Monday, March 18th, 2013, individuals had a chance to witness some of the fine arts and crafts from students across the Caribbean that have written the CXC examinations in visual and performing arts. Chief Cultural Officer Mr. Raymond Lawrence has commended the CXC committee. Mr. Lawrence agrees with the comment made by Public Relations Officer for the CXC, which stated that our students have tremendous potential.
Yes, certainly. I see the students of Dominica and the Caribbean as having a lot of talent and skill, and certainly having the potential to do even greater work and more impactful and impressive work. It's important to always note that various institutions have to try to provide the foundation for one, developing an appreciation for arts and culture, 2, helping the students to identify their own innate talents and skills, and 3, to provide the necessary support that the children can strengthen and improve their talents and skills as they grow.
He added, education opportunities have to be provided for the young people in Dominica and throughout the region from an early age. This is to ensure that not only do they have the opportunity to develop their skills, but to take it further and enhance it.
Exams like CXC also provide a wonderful opportunity, I think, for students to work towards a goal of trying to attain CXC accreditation in some form of the arts, whether it's visual arts, performing arts, or which includes music as well. So I just simply want to say that I want to congratulate all the students who participated, congratulate the CXC committee for organizing this display.
When asked if our culture, youth, talent and skill are being showcased enough, Mr. Lawrence had this to say.
There's always room for improvement, always room for further growth. So we have taken some steps in Dominica to help to improve arts and culture. I think we can still do a lot more. And in order to do more, we have to provide necessary support through the government, through the private sector, and through funding agencies to help to provide greater opportunities for young people.
Mr. Lawrence said the Cultural Division recently established an institution for the arts at the Old Mill Cultural Center. He noted they are hoping the younger population will take advantage of this opportunity to focus and further develop their skills and talents. It is also hoped that institutions such as the Dominica State College will provide more opportunities for accreditation in the visual performing arts. In more stories, the business students of the Portsmouth Secondary School are taking their careers seriously as they prepare to showcase their talents at the 3rd Buy Dominica Extravaganza. The campaign will showcase products made by the students themselves and will be displayed at the Roseau Market on Wednesday, March 27th to Thursday, March 28th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mrs. Rosalyn Matthew said this initiative came about from the mission statement of PSS, which speaks of holistic development of students.
Looking at the economic times that we're in, it is not very easy to get employed. And so as students, or as a school, we want to help, sensitize our students into becoming entrepreneurs, into becoming self-sufficient, into becoming really some individuals we know that can truly impact our nation.
The zealous teacher of PSS encouraged students to give back to their community by pursuing careers as manufacturers, which will enhance our economic status as a country. On the day of the campaign, the students of PSS will be acquiring real-life experiences of the entrepreneurship world. They will be selling their products to the Dominican public.
On that day, they will actually be selling their products. So we want to encourage the Dominican public, everybody, please come and support our young people. Come and support the students of the Portsmouth Secondary School. We've been hearing of a lot of negatives about our students, not just our students, but our young people in general. And so the students of PSS wanting to be an example, wanting to lead the way, they are working really hard to be out there, and we want to support them.
Mrs. Matthew is urging Dominicans to patronize the students by purchasing the products that will be on sale. She said many negative things are being said about youths in society today, so when they organize positive events such as this, we need to support them.
Well, the students are being encouraged to continue, so not just to do that project because it's a class activity, but to begin, the little cottage industry, begin to go out on the market. So that money that they will get, it will go towards, that whole line of producing and selling.
A lot of interesting products is expected to be displayed on Wednesday, March 27th. The Portsmouth Secondary School plans to allow this event to be an annual one. In more stories, one farmer is of the view that organic farming is the way to go and that all produce should be cultivated in this way. This advice came from Salisbury farmer Mr. Simon Kazimi following his harvest of a 75-pound giant pumpkin. The pumpkin grown in Mr. Kazimi's garden in the Heights of Salisbury was grown using 100% natural fall dung, which he uses for his other agricultural produce, according to Mr. Kazimi.
I have lettuce, tomatoes, I plant here, I plant dashing, I have a few grapefruit oranges, Christophane,
Okay, so you cultivate pumpkins also. Is it the first time you you harvested a pumpkin this size?
No, I have 65 pounds. 65 pounds.
Your first one was 65 pounds?
Yeah, but one is 75.
Mr. Kazmi pointed out that his first giant pumpkin harvested 4 years ago weighed a scale tipping 65 pounds. He said it was cultivated in a different area than the 75-pound pumpkin. It took over a month for the pumpkin to reach this size, which he is grateful for, says Mr. Kazmi.
One of the things I did, I take a pumpkin and I use the stomach of the pumpkin, and I bury it on the ground. I bury it, and that's the reason why I think it. I don't know what's the reason, but that's what I suspect.
Any message you want to send to other farmers out there on the importance of doing organic farming instead of using fertilizer?
Well, yeah, that's very important. Many farmers have been using fertilizer, but what I find in planted tomatoes, if you could use pen manure, especially fall pen manure, you can use it and you need absolutely no fertilizer. And you get as big tomatoes without no fertilizer.
The farmer said the pumpkin is for sale. By the looks of it, this pumpkin would surely make some delicious pumpkin soup to feed many mouths. In other news, SAT Telecoms, the People's Choice, certainly believes in giving back to their customers, as one cricket fan was given the opportunity of a lifetime. This lucky customer was in the person of Miss Bernadette Burke of Bath Estate, who received a free ticket to day one of the test match of West Indies vs Zimbabwe, which commenced on Wednesday, March 20th, 2013.
On behalf of SAT Telecoms, we present Ms. Bernadette Burke from Bath Estate with a complimentary ticket to view the West Indies vs Zimbabwe match at the Wilson Park Stadium.
Thank you very much.
Upon receiving the ticket, Ms. Burke expressed her satisfaction with SAT Telecoms for providing her with this opportunity. The happy customer revealed that she has been a customer with SAT Telecoms since its inception and have never thought about switching.
SAT is a better telecom, so I tell my people to follow SAT. So SAT give a good service. So I have no problem with SAT.
Are you a cricket fan?
Oh yes, I'm a cricket fan.
For how long?
Big one. All the years I
So who are you looking forward to seeing?
Oh, I want West Indies to beat Zimbabwe in our country.
Ms. Burke said it would be a wonderful experience to meet all of the West Indies players. However, she is mainly looking forward to meeting Chris Gayle. She noted what she would also like to witness Shane Shillingford, who she supports 100%, take 10 wickets during this series.
I love SAT. I have no problem with SAT. Anybody asks me about SAT, I'll tell them SAT is the people's choice. No one can do that. I mean, no one.
SAT representative Ms. Kitisha Laura says, while going through their records, it was observed they had some die-hard customers with the company since its inception, so they decided to give tokens of appreciation. This was done in the form of free cricket tickets.
Ms. Burke is not the only customer who will win a complimentary ticket from SAT Telecoms. As the week goes by for the test match, every day a customer will get a chance to win a lucky ticket to view the cricket at the Wilson Park Stadium.
What criteria is being used? Ms. Burke was one of the longest serving customers. What criteria will be used for the customers?
Customers need to have their bills updated, as in or zero balance, and we look at customers from our inception, from basically 2000, and those who have never gotten disconnected.
This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.